When it comes to the art of flopping, many players attempt to utilize it for their advantage. And surprisingly, it seems to actually work out most of the time, although it can be very annoying for us to watch. And perhaps the player most notorious for this action is LeBron James, also known as LeFlop.
And the Oscar goes to
LeBron James.
James has had a long history of flopping, and sometimes it got out of control.
Oh, come on. What kind of league are we becoming if that's a flagrant foul?
And no wonder why he's so talented. He even has a personal coach specifically for it.
My name is Frank Calhoun, and I'm the person who taught LeBron James how to flop. If you ask me, he was a pretty good player to begin with. But he wanted to add the flopping element to his game to try and help him take it to a whole new level. And man, does he sell it. I mean, there are times when he flops on the ground, nobody's even near him, and he will always get the call.
But on May 10th, 2013, all that practicing might have caused him to go a little too far. Let's head back to that good old Bulls and Heat playoff series. No, I'm not talking about the one in 2011. Let's revisit the 2013 playoff series between Miami and Chicago. Remember, these two teams were never really the biggest fans of each other to begin with. Besides the series that took place 2 years prior, there's been multiple occasions where things got heated. When LeBron teamed up with Wade and Bosh, he instantly became a villain. So much so that even the Bulls fans cheered with excitement over a little injury LeBron suffered.
LeBron comes up hobbling. So yeah, this is an ugly moment on the part of the crowd. I just don't get it.
It's one thing to boo at the end of a quarter when he's going to take the last shot, but you don't cheer when a guy gets injured.
As you know, this was the season where we saw Miami go on an amazing 27-game winning streak, pretty much looking unstoppable during this impressive run. And when you look at that, all of the teams that could have been the one to snap the streak, it just so happened to be the Chicago Bulls that put it to a stop. And LeBron was visibly frustrated at that embarrassing loss.
I think they're going to end up looking at that. Yep, they are. So they call it a flagrant foul.
So you know, heading into that Eastern Conference semifinals matchup, it was gonna be an extremely intense series. Game 1 took place in Miami. Chicago was fresh off defeating the Brooklyn Nets in 7 games, pulling off a minor upset in the first round. And witnessing LeBron receive the MVP trophy before tip-off only gave them extra motivation. As expected, it was a close game, only because of the fact that Miami had a long break heading into this series. So we knew they needed to find their rhythm again, but they couldn't quite get it together as the Bulls took game 1 of the series. Game 2, the Heat came into this game much more focused, and predictably, it got a little chippy.
And that's an offensive foul. Oh, look out. James and Noah have words. James called for the push-off. A little pushing and shoving between James and so Robinson looked to get involved. And here's Noah being restrained by teammates.
Remember, this goes back. There's some history here between these two teams.
Throughout the game, Chicago tried their best, but by the end of the night, Miami absolutely destroyed them to even up the series. Game 3 headed to Chicago, and almost right away, the two teams got into it again.
As we're going to have some, after the whistle, pushing and shoving, much like in Game 2. Passed into him after the play.
Now, last game, I thought Miami did a lot of that sort of stuff. Noah's reacting to that, but they're...
Keep in mind, this was only the first quarter, so the refs were definitely in for a long night, and we didn't have to wait very long for another altercation. In just the very next quarter, this happened.
And Muhammad fouls LeBron James, and then a technical foul on James, and Muhammad, for some reason, shoves James, and we're having it again. Players losing their cool.
As you can see, Nazr Mohammed deliberately fouls LeBron in transition, which led to LeBron swinging Nazr around, pulling him down in the process. And after that, Mohammed understandably was pissed, so he immediately popped right back up and had to release some of that anger, which caused James to fly backwards and continued to slide on the court, ultimately leading to everyone getting involved in a massive scuffle. Now LeBron received a technical foul mainly for his overreaction and disbelief to the call, but Nazi's involvement in this situation got him ejected from the game, and many of his Bulls teammates strongly disagreed with that decision. Okay, it was a pretty hard shove, and you can definitely tell it had a good amount of force behind it, and you can say that James was caught off guard because he was in the middle of arguing with the referee, but it's obvious that LeBron put some effort into exaggerating his fall.
And if LeBron James does not fall on that, Nazi Muhammad is not ejected. That's my problem.
And there was one player in particular who didn't like seeing his teammate being forced to go back to the locker room. So right there in the same exact game, he decided to go get some revenge. So in the very next quarter, Nate Robinson did this.
Here's James, drives past Bellinelli, blocked from behind by Robinson.
Gets it cleanly, and I remember when he blocked Yao Ming's turnaround jump shot in the Garden.
If you look closely, you can even see D-Wade attempt to get in on the flopping because he saw that it worked for LeBron earlier. By the end of the game, emotions were high, and Miami came out on top to get another victory in the series. Later on in the locker room, many people in the Bulls organization had this to say about what happened with LeBron. Coach Tom Thibodeau said, "From my angle, I just saw a guy flop." Taj Gibson said MJ would get fouled and he would just keep playing. And you know Nate Robinson had to chime in as well. Quote, "You see LeBron in a lot of commercials, a lot of good acting. Besides the unfair and lopsided punishment, the Bulls were also upset because in their last series against the Nets, Nazi was huge for them as their backup center and felt that what he did not warrant an ejection. But regardless of LeBron's embellishment on the play, even if he didn't flop and just managed to stand still on his feet, a shoving gesture like that is guaranteed to get you tossed out anyway. Also, that was sort of a weird play in the first place. 3 Bulls players already got back in time to defend LeBron, and any one of them could have taken a charge, so there was no reason for Nazi Muhammad to intentionally foul. He certainly isn't the only player to step to LeBron, but he's probably the only one to actually put hands on him. Eventually, Muhammad did quickly apologize by saying, "No hard feelings." And of course, you know Skip Bayless had his own opinion on the matter.
But come on, LeBron James is 6 feet 9 inches, 260 pounds. And for him to go sliding back across the floor like he got hit by a Chicago bus, I'm not buying it, Stephen A, because I think he helped propel himself backward just a little bit. So I'm going to qualify this as a flop.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to comment down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.